Thanks to Exter for sponsoring this video. Big changes are coming to the iPhone in 2023. Along with all new features coming to new iPads, Macs, Apple Watches, and basically every single Apple product. Honestly, it seems like Apple has been better off since its big split with Johnny Ive. They're bringing back ports, they're allowing for more software customization. Honestly, it just feels like they're listening to us, the paying customer, way more than ever before, and that trend is gonna continue into 2023 with some really exciting new features that we've been asking Apple to bring us for years. It's finally happening. So let's break down the top 10 or so biggest new features coming to Apple products that you absolutely need to know about. You guys are gonna be very excited. And also, let me throw out some suggestions of things that you and I would like to see that Apple should definitely add to their 2023 lineup. Now, according to the boss man himself, Tim Cook, Apple's 2022 product lineup is basically set in stone. No other new Apple products are set to be released this year, which means all the rumors, leaks, and everyone in the Apple universe is very focused now on what big changes are coming next year in just a few weeks, few months, in 2023. And we've got some all new leaks on the headset, new iPads, AirPods, Macs, and yes, our favorite here, the next gen iPhone. Apple is finally making some really good changes, finally bringing some great features, but also, rumor has it, they are gonna be making some bad changes that you should probably know about in advance, like right now. But first, let's kick it off with the good stuff. I think something that many of us have been wanting Apple to do for a very long time now is give the iPhone a new design. The 14 Pro and 14 is a great phone, but on the back, it looks basically identical to the 13 and the 12, even the 11. It would just be nice for the iPhone to get a major design overhaul, which is actually expected to happen next year with the iPhone 15 lineup. As to what this redesign might look like, we don't know, but we do have some theories. But let me be clear, the design is gonna change, but the form factor of the phone isn't expected to change. So if you're holding out hope for a flipping or folding iPhone, something I see in the comments a lot that you guys aren't looking forward to, good news on that front, Apple is not expected to be bringing that next year in 2023, maybe the year after and the year after that. But that design is what many people are very focused on. What's this phone gonna look like? How is the dynamic island gonna change? What design changes can we expect for this all new iPhone? Well, I'm making a bold bet right now to say that the dynamic island probably isn't going away. In fact, it's going to expand, or set to expand according to rumors, to every single iPhone 15 next year. So you don't have to have the Pro or the Pro Max to take advantage of the dynamic island and all its benefits and its quirks and its features. You can enjoy basically all that stuff on the standard iPhone 15. But display aside, the other areas of the phone are expected to get a bigger design change. We've heard for a while now that Apple could switch from stainless steel over to titanium, maybe for their higher end models, so that would be a cool material design change. And then we have heard some rumors, some credible, some not so credible, that we could be seeing an iPhone 4 style redesign come to the iPhone 15, or maybe some next generation iPhone. That would include round volume buttons, you'd have sort of this speaker mesh on the bottom, camera would sit flush right on the back, you'd have a glass back, and a sort of a throwback to a design we had about, what, 12 or 13 or so years ago now, which I think, according to these renders, could look pretty cool. And speaking of buttons, we've also got some new rumors that say that Apple is going to make fake buttons on the iPhone 15, or at least some models. Basically, they'd look like buttons, they'd feel like buttons when the phone was actually turned on, but they would just be sort of a solid state piece. Sort of like the old home button, I don't forget what iPhone generation that was, where it was basically a fake home button where you would tap it and it would feel like you were clicking it when the phone was on, but when it was off, it was just sort of a solid piece of glass or whatever that material was. It'd basically be the same thing on the iPhone. Not exactly sure what benefit this gives you, but looks like Apple's gonna be removing the buttons on the iPhone 15, maybe starting as soon as this next fall, and gonna be giving us fake buttons on the higher end iPhones, for better or for worse. Another crowd favorite, and one that people have been asking Apple to adopt for years, is USB-C. It's on the iPad, it's on the Mac, it's on other random Apple accessories like the new Apple TV remote, but it's not on the iPhone. That is, until now with the iPhone 15. Now, I need to be careful with my words here because Apple says they are going to comply with the new EU regulations that are basically going to force them to put a common USB-C port on the iPhone. But complying could mean a number of things. They could remove the port altogether. This could maybe be delayed until the iPhone 16. There's some sort of a different verbiage there on when this could take effect, so we don't know how that's going to go on Apple's side. But we have heard independently from a couple of different sources now that Apple is expected to bring USB-C to at least some models of the iPhone next year. Another really important area of the iPhone where people have been asking Apple to make some substantial improvements is with the camera. Now, the 48 megapixel camera on the 14 Pro series is great and all, but it does have its quirks and its limitations. You gotta really use a third-party app or shoot in RAW to take advantage of that. But some people would like a more tangible new feature that would be way more useful and wouldn't require a checklist to go through in order to maximize it. That is gonna be the case, hopefully, with a new optical zoom system. Apple is finally going to give us a jump from 3x up to a rumored 10x optical zoom on the iPhone 15 Pro series. Okay, now before we continue, let's take a break for just a moment because I want to show off one of my favorite products of all time. It is very rare to find a product that is perfect, and when you do, you'll want to show it off. This one is super sleek, it's super simple, super easy to use, and it's got a couple tricks up its sleeve as well, and it is made by this video's sponsor, Extra. There's a very good chance you've heard of Extra before, but if you haven't, let me introduce you to an awesome company that is in the business of making people's daily lives easier, with an excellent collection of super high quality wallets, bags, cases, and some other really premium and versatile accessories. This is my personal wallet. It's their carbon fiber card holder. But my favorite part is this right here. Really easy to get cards in and out. No muss, no fuss, no fumbling around. Take a card out like that, you're done, you paid, ready to put it back in, you place it back in, push it down, and that's it. And this particular combo here can hold 6 cards on the inside and 9 cards on the back with the back plate. And in addition to my personal favorite, Extra has got an excellent collection of wallets in different high quality materials and form factors that you can choose from, including the super slick aluminum option, their Parliament Classic collection, and their Parliament Recycled collection that's actually made from vegan leather from recycled car windshields. Personally, I also really appreciate that Extra has options with a built-in AirTag holder. That is super nice. And also, if you're on the Android side or if AirTag just not your thing, Extra's got their own solar-powered tracker accessory that you've got to check out and put right inside of your Extra wallet. It is super slim, the size of a credit card, uses a worldwide lost and found network, and 3 hours of solar charge gives it 2 full months of battery life. So if you want to learn more and check out all the Extra accessories on the market today and pick some up for yourself, hit the link right down below to learn more, and you can take advantage of some special Black Friday savings going on right now for a limited time. You can get up to 25% off all orders, 35% off orders over $200, plus a free cash clip by using our special code TAC at checkout. So again, take advantage of these special limited time savings for Black Friday happening right now by clicking the link right down below. And again, use that special code TAC at checkout to take advantage of these awesome savings. Again, a huge thanks to Extra for sponsoring this video. I love Extra. Check out all their amazing products at the link right down below. So from what we know right now, it looks like some pretty good changes are coming to the 15 lineup, and this just proves that this new Apple is much more willing to listen to feedback from you and I. It takes them some time to do it and get them come around and stop being curmudgeon-y, and it certainly doesn't come without some caveats, but it looks like Apple is finally listening and bringing back ports and bringing back features and bringing new features that we've been asking them to bring to their products. And if this theme was to continue, what other features and new additions and changes could Apple bring to the iPhone 15 and other Apple products that could be crowd favorites and crowd pleasers that all of us would really enjoy? One of the big ones for me would be Face ID and Touch ID on the Pro level iPhone 15 next year. And as crazy as this sounds, we do have some new rumors that Apple is working to maybe replace the iPhone 15 Pro Max next year with an iPhone 15 Ultra. This would be a new top-end iPhone with some all-new exclusive Pro features. Maybe it has an action button, maybe it's got the titanium frame. This would be the highest-end iPhone of all, and one of the features I'd love to see in a high-end iPhone is Face ID and Touch ID. Sounds a little crazy, but what do you think? Would that make sense? Would you like to see it? Would you not like to see it? And speaking of Face ID and Touch ID, another move I'd love to see Apple make in 2023 is to finally bring Face ID to the Mac. I know that there are limitations and there's some reasons Apple hasn't done it, obviously, but the fact that Face ID was debuted on the iPhone 10 in 2017, now nearly 6 years ago, and it's still not on the Mac, is sort of crazy. Touch ID is fine and all, but being able to open up the lid of your MacBook Pro and immediately authenticate and unlock with the power of Face ID, like you would on the iPhone and the iPad, would be really, really cool on the Mac. And also Apple, continuity camera is great and all, but if you could just build a better webcam or somehow figure out a way to bring the selfie camera from the iPhone and put that into the Mac, that'd be a really nice thing and would substantially improve the still sort of potato quality of the webcams currently in the MacBook Pro, Studio Display, and other Apple Macs, desktops and laptops. Also, speaking of Mac, Apple is expected to make some big changes to the Mac lineup in 2023. We should see some new Apple Silicon, we should get a new Apple Mac Pro at the high end, but also some rumors that maybe Apple listens to its customers and brings more options at the lower end, something below the MacBook Air that would be a more affordable, more attainable Mac that was maybe around $499, $599, $699. Sounds a little crazy, but let me tell you what we know right now. One good rumor is that Apple is expected to be bringing a new size option to the MacBook Air, so you're not gonna be limited just to 13 inches, but you can have a 15-inch option, which is great. So if you want a larger screen size, but you don't need the power or the price tag of the 16-inch MacBook Pro, 15-inch Air should be great. And also some rumors that Apple could be bringing back one of its most controversial products, did I say that right? Controversial products of all time, and that is this, the 12-inch MacBook that had a mobile Intel-based processor, a low-powered processor, didn't have a fan, it had only one USB-C port. It was loved by some, hated by most, but now actually might make a lot of sense in 2023 and will be making its triumphant return in hopefully a new way. Many have long been pleading for Apple to bring a lower cost Apple laptop option to the lineup, and that could be this. Maybe it's called the MacBook SE, maybe it's just called the MacBook, but we've got no confirmation on what this machine could be, but if it sort of does slot below the MacBook Air, this could be great at a lower price point. Like I said, $599, $699, having a well under $1,000 Apple laptop sort of seems ludicrous and very un-Apple-like, but with Tim Cook trying to have different options at different price points, and with the expansion, both in good terms and in bad terms, of the iPad line, maybe a cheaper Apple laptop doesn't actually seem all that crazy. The other thing Apple needs to do at some point is figure out the iPad Pro's purpose. Having the M2 chip inside is great. It's nice to have that power and that really nice screen at your fingertips, but the fact that you can't run Pro apps or really push that chip to its limits in any meaningful way, for a lot of people, not all people, for a lot of people, doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. We actually have heard some new rumors that maybe Apple could be bringing a new hybrid version of iPadOS and macOS, like a macOS Lite, to the iPad Pro. It's a very sketchy rumor, so I'm not gonna put a lot of stock into it, but just something you should know. And it'd be nice to see Apple sort of figure out the iPad Pro's direction and figure out if it's gonna be a Pro machine, if it's not, just to have a little clarity on that would be nice. And also, I'd love to see a mini LED option for the smaller 11-inch screen size. I love my 11-inch iPad Pro, and the screen's nice, but to have a mini LED screen at the size would be great, and looks like that is hopefully gonna happen next year as well. And then a few other odds and ends. Some have asked for Apple to bring larger iPad sizes to the lineup, and we are actually hearing rumors that Apple's gonna be bringing a 14-inch and 16-inch size to the iPad, maybe iPad Pro in 2023, so there you go. You can be excited about that if you're looking forward to it. And the return of the HomePod. It is rumored, but we have no idea of how it's going to actually come out. Maybe it's just gonna be a replacement to the one we already had, so basically like a full-size speaker. I've seen a lot of speculation and a lot of dreaming that people really would love for Apple to like make their own soundbar, to build in the Apple audio magic, that wonderful set of audio hardware into a soundbar, sort of like a Sonos competitor that would have AirPlay support. It'd have all the Apple TV smarts built in. You could plug it into your TV and sort of have an Apple TV and soundbar in one. That'd be really cool to see. All right, so now I have a very important question for you watching this video. First off, what Apple products are you excited to see in 2023? And also, with Apple bringing back ports, with them adding USB-C to the iPhone, with them adding some new screen size options to the iPad and Mac, what other changes should Apple make that you would like to see? Do you wanna see Touch ID and Face ID? Do you wanna see some new colors? Do you wanna see a more expensive Mac? Do you wanna see a round Apple Watch? What changes and new products and features would you like to see from Apple, and what could they do to make you happy? I'm curious, we can talk about it and discuss it down below in the comments, and hopefully give Apple some ideas on some changes they could make and some new things they could do to make us happy and get even more of our hard-earned money. We can talk about it and discuss down below. As always, I appreciate you guys watching the Apple Circle. Thank you so much. I'm Robert Rosenfeld, and I'll see you all in the next one.